Why are we talking about the basic controls of an automatic transmission? Well, here in the UK, we're still looking at about 70% of the cars on our road have a manual transmission. So the automatic is still very much a novelty. With the way car sales are going, there's a lot more automatics being sold at the moment. The figure of manual transmissions as a percentage is going to decrease dramatically over the years. But as a country, we've become very used to and acclimatized to using a manual transmission. But with the move away from that to an automatic, it's just handy to have this basic knowledge of what these controls mean. The basic controls of an automatic gearbox is drive. So drive is, as it says, when you're driving the car, that activates everything. When you press the accelerator, the car selects an appropriate gear to the speed you're doing, and everything runs smoothly and completely automatically. Then you've got park. So park is only ever used if you intend to park the car. It's not intended to be used if you've just stopped briefly in traffic. So if you're only expecting a brief stop, don't use park. If you do that and you're not experienced at using this particular car, you're going to be stuck there for ages, faffing around, wondering why the car's not going and how to get it back into drive again. So then we come to neutral. Now, neutral should only really be used when you're towing the car. It's not really there for saving fuel when you go downhill. It's not there for disengaging the engine when you're waiting in traffic. When you are waiting in traffic, keep your foot pressed on the foot brake. For longer stops, shift into neutral when the car's stationary, obviously, and apply the handbrake. So putting your foot on the brake while you're in traffic at night means your brake lights are going to be on, and that's going to glare and dazzle the drivers behind you. So it would be an act of kindness not to do that at night, to maybe just adjust the driving habits and maybe use the neutral with the handbrake on as the option. Generally, as you're driving the car, if you feel the car is still tugging against the brake, you are potentially straining components within the engine, the transmission, and you should really aim to try and avoid doing that. So if you feel that the car is still pulling or it's starting to lurch, think carefully about what you're doing, what you're asking the car to do, and which gear you've actually selected on the transmission. Manual shifting is useful. It means that you can select a gear just as you would have done with a manual transmission, but we need to be careful we're not changing gears too aggressively. We're not forcing the RPM to go too high, particularly when the engine is in its warm-up period. And also when going downhill, you may want to select a lower gear, but a lot of modern automatics do these things for you, and they're very good at anticipating your needs. So manual gear selection is something a lot of drivers don't worry about. And the other little tip is to be careful when we are changing gears, particularly when we're going from a forward gear into a reverse gear, or as I've already said, when we select the park mode, make sure the car is stationary, because we can damage the automatic gearbox by changing things and the car is still rolling along. So I hope you found this useful. Please boot the like button. That really does help us to get out there. There's more information coming up on driving automatics, little tips to help you to get the best out of it. And in those videos, we're going to look at the different types of automatic transmission, and understanding what the type of transmission you've got is and what the little idiosyncrasies or the requirements are of that specific transmission can go a long way to protecting and prolonging the life of that transmission. So please check out this video that I've lined up for you and this playlist, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so, because we'd hate you to miss out on the great content we've got planned. Thanks for watching. See you in these next videos.